Playboy. Playboy, oh man. Playboy.
Yeah, we in this bitch with your boy Awopp, man. You know what I'm saying?
What's down?
Yeah, jack all trade, man. Gonna get it in real quick. So, when the world hears the name Awopp, who do you see?
Well, me, who do I see?
Yeah.
I see a entrepreneur. You know, I see a man that came a long way. I see a artist. You know, overall, I see an artist. But yeah, that's pretty much what that is. With Awopp anyway. You know, Awopp is the artist side of who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so you're a videographer,
Yes, sir.
barber,
Yeah. Barber.
musical genius, musical artist,
Yes, sir.
engineer,
Yep. Yep.
actor,
Yeah.
stand-up comedian,
Mm-hmm.
carpenter,
Yeah.
and a designer. Was shoes, clothes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Most
I
people,
do it
most
all.
people can barely do like get one thing and stick with it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Why, why do all of it? Why do you choose to do
I
do
mean,
it all?
honestly, I always aspire to do big things. I always dream big. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, um, I do everything because I ran into a very wise man at one point in my life. It was at a time where I was incarcerated in jail. You know what I'm saying? He was just I was just on some high head shit, going through life, going through the motion. You know, but you always meet them certain people that just they always say something that stick to you. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, and come to find out, he was wealthy. You know, it's a difference in being, okay, getting by, rich, and wealthy. So basically, there's levels to it. But he always said, and I ain't never been to the point where I was just greeted and I had to be wealthy. It wasn't nothing like that. I just wanted, to be successful. But I also learned if I did wanted to, have a significant amount of income, that you need 7 forms of income. So that was my thing. And also me knowing, that I had a gift of, keen understanding where I could just venture off into different shit and understand it. My understanding, my level of understanding is superb. So it don't take much for me to learn something. I don't have to be born with that gift in order to do it, like carpentry, barbering. Like it's some of that you can learn. You get what I'm saying? So I had the ability to learn things fast. You get what I'm saying? And that would, and with me also knowing what the wise man told me about the 7 streams of income, I'm like, man, I gotta be able to do, all this, and another thing about me, I like to be good at what I do. So if I lock in on something like carpentry, barbering, anything, I'm gonna lock all the way in with it. But yeah, that's just a little back history on it.
Alright, so with you being the guy who does everything, what uh like challenges do you face, if any? Like,
Ah, I face a lot of challenges when, in that sense. I mean, I'm gonna say this. All right, so me knowing that I do a lot of stuff, it kind of puts you in a sense to where like, or in a state to where like you don't pretty much finish a lot of tasks, or you might try to take on more than that you're able to manage. Another thing that driven me to do a lot, it wasn't just because I wanted to be successful or financially, stable or, financially free, it wasn't just because of that. It was because of the lack thereof. I ain't have a lot of people to do a lot of stuff, you know, or I might need to get stuff done that I needed help doing, and I couldn't get the help, so it just pushed me to go on doing this or doing that, or I might, like, all right, so I run a business. I might need somebody to do accounting, you know what I'm saying? Handle the money, or handle the customers, write the receipts, somebody to clean up. It's just various things that I need done. You get what I'm saying? So I have to learn to do it if I don't got the help. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes life just pushed me to doing other stuff. And I'm kind of glad it worked out like that. But yeah, you're gonna face challenges whether you had the help or not, or whether you doing all these things yourself or not. You know what I'm saying?
What's with all the things that you have that you do, you know what I'm saying, on a day-to-day basis, how do relationships fit into your lifestyle? Or
Relationship. Ooh.
it might be friendships, relationships.
Right. I mean, I'm kind of big on relationships. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I'm big on relationships, bonds, or things of that nature. So I watch that, indefinitely. As far as relationship with my kids. And don't get me wrong, me doing a lot, as one person, I'm not gonna say it's impossible to be manageable, but I juggle it a lot, some you're gonna miss some time somewhere, but good thing about it, it's all for a greater cause, I'm I'm trying to build some stuff up, for my family. So if I did miss any time, or juggle relationships between them, be it friend, or be it significant other, or just my children, I still find ways to make up, for it. Yeah.
What's your biggest deal breaker?
As far as what?
Like like as far as like with people,
With people,
like
um, inconsistency. That's my biggest deal breaker. Inconsistency with people in general. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you so driven about certain things, or passionate about certain things, and especially if you're trying to unify, and you want to get shit done, like, you kind of lean towards that and depend on that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what that is.
all right. Let's see. So inconsistency, people who switch up, people who treat you like an option, but they want to be a priority.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yep.
Right. 100%.
So with you being you, everybody wants a piece of you. Everybody wants to be,
Right.
involved, or kind of, they're more drawn to you. So how do you separate the real friends from the opportunists? Just for somebody that's just trying to.
I mean, you gotta understand. I come from the streets, so I can spot an opportunist a mile away. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna treat it accordingly. You know what I'm saying? As a business, a business deal, or whatever, however that is. I know how to separate my feelings, emotions, and disattach that from, our certain endeavors, whatever, certain friendships, whatever, it still be limits to certain, to everything. And I just, over time, when you go through so much dealing with people, you tend to, what I want to say, you tend to develop those skills, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a part of wisdom. That is wisdom when you're able to discern from, people that's trying to be opportunists, people that's just genuinely trying to, accomplish or aspire to do something with you. You know what I'm saying? So I already know the difference. That's a no brainer for me. I ain't gonna lie to you. But yeah, that's just what that is.
Have you ever outgrown people?
Ah, yeah, man, of course. Yeah, man, of course. I mean, it's just life. It just depends on what you want out of life. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want more than that person or that particular people out of life, if you want more than them or your desires are more, like, you're gonna outgrow people. Because some people are just there to be stagnant, and or they might just be around you for that one lesson that, you might not want to just be like them. So that God just, however you view life, He'll put that right there in front of you. So you already have an example of it. And that's just how I view life, though, man. Like, I don't mind outgrowing nobody. I ain't don't be just sticking around for you to hold me back or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just what it is. And I ain't gonna lie, me having a big heart, a lot of times that was the issue. I sit around and wait for me to get fucked over or wait for me to get short end of the stick or something. It's always something negative or something bad. But a lot of times you are supposed to outgrow people. Let me tell you why I say that. Not in a bad sense, but the way I look at life is like this, man. Anything with life must grow. Like, if you at a standstill, then you ain't growing.
Right.
And eventually that dead plant gonna wither off. You get what I'm saying? So if you're not growing and producing, like, I don't never look at it bad, like if I outgrow somebody, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Sometimes people ain't your speed, bro.
Do you feel like you're misunderstood? And if you do, what do people misunderstand the most about you?
For a while, honestly, it started with the comedy. You know what I'm saying? It was the comedy that made people misunderstand me. And I knew it, you know what I'm saying? Because it had got to the point where, like, it was affecting my personal life. Me doing the comedy, because it was just a specific type of comedy that I was doing it. You know what I'm saying? And it was just spewing over into my regular life. And people was starting to, even friends and shit, like, niggas was playing with me and shit, like, you being a comedic person because you got this high spirit, you coming off all, friendly or whatever, however they want to classify it. Man, I don't feel like nothing wrong with it. Like now you might see me, I don't even move like I used to because it got to the point where it's taking a toll on me mentally. Like, I'm giving all this, I was people pleasing, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I wasn't being, I wasn't pouring into me, you know what I'm saying? Every day I'm thinking of some way to make these people laugh, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't benefiting from it, like I wasn't profiting from it. At the time, we couldn't even monetize, so it wasn't like I was getting money from the content or shit like that. But, people often misconstrue that. The comedy from the real person, you know what I'm saying? And people start playing with you. One thing I ain't gonna play about is my livelihood, though. You know what I'm saying? I got to live. At the end of the day, motherfuckers playing with your name will destroy you. Because that's all it takes. Think about it. Everybody that blew up, that was in the industry that had a name for themselves, what did they attack first? They attacked the name, the image.
Yeah.
So me knowing that, I'm like, man, bro, this shit ain't even worth it. I ain't even benefiting from it. Don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, the only joy I got out of this shit was seeing people. you know, the people that hit me up out the random, it was the random people that I always said, you know, the shit like I made they day. I don't know, you just don't know what I was going through type shit. That was the shit that kept me going. It wasn't because I was getting paid from it. You know, I ain't ashamed to say it. It wasn't, you know, I still doing my, you know, I was doing my thing. But it wasn't from the comedy. You know what I'm saying? So it was easy for me to let that go, but that's how you know that's what made me start feeling like people was misunderstanding. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm still a man. I'm a person. I got children. I got family. You motherfuckers all on social media saying this shit like my kids ain't watching this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't have no regard. I know people think shallow, so a lot of times I wouldn't even react to, you know, certain shit. Or I wouldn't respond the way they thought I would, you know, shit like that. But yeah, man, that's how I feel like I was misunderstood.
What you got? Do you have any dates on what you have? Like what? Like give me like some upcoming things you got planned, shows.
Well, I
Anything
mean,
like that?
right now I ain't doing shows. I'm more so on the engineering side right now. Doing a lot of engineering for local artists. Some, you know, I got my artists that I work with personally. So that's consuming a lot of time. Plus, I gotta run the business. You know, do a lot of editing to videos. Of course, you know, we got the platform, the voice box. You know, where the local artists come. Some, you know, we've been having artists come from other places. But locally, they come and perform. You know, live perform they you know, music or whatever they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, so what do you want people to remember when they see Aubrey? When they see you years from now?
Man, that I was resilient. You know, I want them to know that when they see me, they see, you know, a man that overcame a lot. You know, that anything is possible. It's possible, man. Because if people only knew a lot of the backstory behind my personal life, they'll understand. You know, from where I'm at today, I really feel like it's a huge leap because I was really in the streets. You know what I'm saying? But and you know, making that transition into the corporate life, the corporate business, you know, it it's a hell of a transition. It's a hell of a leap. You know what I'm saying? But when they see me, they're gonna see resilience. That's what I want them to see. That you're able to overcome anything that come at you as long as you're driven to do it, you know, and you have a real reason behind doing it. You know, don't just be jumping and doing shit and you don't really have no purpose behind it, no real purpose behind the shit. You know, this shit is not for me, you know, it's bigger than me. Of course, it was always me trying to have other people at thought. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, it ain't gonna never just be about you. So, you know, just that selfless image. I want them to see I would never about self. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.